Welcome back, friends. This is Velma from Leaders Pathway, where leaders go to grow. We've been walking through our series called How Leaders Connect. Simple, powerful steps that build stronger workplace relationships. And on our last episode, I shared what we could learn when life gives us interruptions or a hit in the head, like what really happened to me, literally. So while that story took us on a little detour from our planned path, it actually fits perfectly with where we're headed today. Because sometimes the best connections happen in the interruptions. And that brings us right back to our series, How Leaders Connect. You might recall walking through those simple, powerful steps to help you build real lasting relationships at work, and for that matter, at home too. The kind of relationships I'm talking about. The ones that make communication clearer and collaboration stronger. So that's the heart of the message for step 4. Care about the person as a person. Because connection, my friend, it starts before collaboration. Let me say that again. When you care about the person as a person, it's because connection starts before collaboration. It's not about saying the perfect thing. It's about making the person in front of you feel seen, heard, and valued. Now, let me tell you a story about a client of mine. We'll call him Robert. And Robert was a brilliant leader, strategic thinker, but terrified of public speaking. Does that sound like something you might struggle with? A lot of people actually struggle with public speaking. And Robert, he could build a plan with his eyes closed for strategy and business development. But ask him to present it, he'd panic, sweaty palms, rushed delivery, no eye contact. So one day, after a rough presentation to the senior leadership, he was on a coaching call with me, and Robert said, "Velma, I was so focused on not looking foolish that I did." See, it wasn't that he didn't have good content. It wasn't a performance issue. It was a connection issue. So I gave Robert a challenge. Forget the slides, forget the polish, get curious. Find out who your audience is. Ask them questions before you have to present. Get to know them as team members. Get to know them as people. Get something real. Maybe you could ask them about their kids or their goals or even their dog named Waffles, right? And for that matter, find out what it is that's important to them. And what Robert found actually surprised him. Anna, she was training for a marathon. And Marcus, he was caring for an aging dad. And then Tina, well, she just rescued a sheltered pup. The next time Robert stood up to speak in front of Anna, Marcus, and Tina, he wasn't presenting to a team. He was talking to people that he knew. He slowed down, made eye contact, and he even cracked a joke that they laughed at. Because Robert wasn't performing anymore. He was connecting. And here's what research will tell you about that. See, when we care about others genuinely, not just for what they can do, but for who they are, we build psychological safety. That's not fluff. That's neuroscience. Oxytocin, it's a bonding hormone. It gets released in the brain when you care about people, when they feel seen, heard, and valued. And that bonding hormone actually builds trust between you and the other person. It quiets the fear, and it opens the door for actual honest, creative collaboration. Friends, this is where the real change happens. When you want better meetings, when you want stronger teams and better relationships at work or at home, start before the agenda. Start before the collaboration. Start with a connection. And that connection is built when you care about the person as a person. So here's my challenge to you this week. Next time you're about to lead a meeting, make a phone call, or even just have a hallway chat, pause and ask yourself, am I more focused on what I have to say or on who I am speaking to? Because when you care about the person as a person, not just a job title, not just a problem solver for you, everything changes. And hey, if you want help applying this step to your leadership style, let's talk. I'd love to connect with you. Head over to leaderspathway.com and book a free coaching call with me. It's your 30 minutes of clarity, encouragement, and real tools that'll help you build stronger workplace relationships from the inside out. I'll bring the insight, and you bring the real leadership questions. We'll take it from there together. Well, that's it for today, friends. Care about others as people first, not just coworkers. Because leadership, my friend, doesn't begin with your message. It begins with your mindset. This is Velma from Leaders Pathway. Take care. God bless. Oh, and hey, don't forget, grab a free coaching call at leaderspathway.com. I can't wait to connect with you.